So, hello, Gemini, and welcome back to Divine Rebel. My name is Racy, and I'm going to be giving the messages for you today. These are for Gemini suns and Gemini in energy if you have strong Gemini placements in your chart, right? This could be significant to you in a very specific way, depending on what house Gemini rules and what's in there. But for those of you not familiar with me in the channel, I don't have a filter. I don't sugarcoat my messages. And I always let people be aware of that, because if it's not your thing or you have kids around and you just don't appreciate, the kind of a message, I'm always very respectful of that and giving you the opportunity to sign off now. Otherwise, this energy, Gem, everything is in hindsight, right? Hindsight is 2020. And so the fact that, the second half of my November readings are coming out very late in the month. Don't be surprised if you are better off hearing this now than you would have been at the beginning and forgetting all about it, okay? The guidance card or affirmation says, I radiate acceptance and am deeply loved by others. Love surrounds me and protects me. This is about feeling that you have become the most beautiful version of yourself, and that when you are that beautiful version of yourself, everybody loves you. Everybody respects you and accepts you, and they surround you with protection because you matter, right? This is being the version of self that creates that reaction or perception from others by default. So Archangel Azrael comes in with comfort. It says you won, even if it doesn't feel like it. Hashtag better is coming, right? Archangel Azrael says, I am helping you. Blah, blah, blah. I am helping you in your time of need, helping your heart to heal. It may be really hard for you to talk about things where your heart is healed behind it. It feels vulnerable. Like maybe my energy won't be returned. Maybe my love won't be returned. Maybe my consideration won't be returned. Maybe my respect won't be returned. There's a whole lot of things that Archangel Azrael is helping you heal. It's about being your best version and allowing that version to speak for itself, because it can't be taken any other way as you putting your best self forward. Consideration in the highest, empathy in the highest, love unconditionally in the highest. All of these things that come along with actions and choices we can make and put behind that version, right? Our version of self is a mindset. It's a conscious choice. Everything that follows that is what we project out, right? So Archangel Azrael being the archangel of death and transformation and rebirth, this is about you going through the transition of being someone who felt unlovable by others you loved because you've done unlovable things to others, even if it's not the ones you are loving. You still have an issue or a qualm with the version of yourself that is not that version with everyone. That not everyone is treated equal with how you give love, how you give and offer forgiveness and compassion and understanding. Hurt people. I'm not going to hold it against you. Everybody it makes mistakes, and everybody has those mistakes held against them except this one person, right? Except this one person. We're going to get into your sacred soulmate because they're definitely around. Okay. But this is about you feeling deserving of receiving the highest love that you give to the person you love the most. That you would never actually want to see them hurt or suffering. That it pains you to see it or witness it and not be able to do anything about it. Can you achieve witnessing that person that you love unconditionally no matter what? Can they love you and accept you in the same way? Well, of course they can. You're getting there. This is what this transformation is. As we get into the actual weeks, the breakdown, we have healing begins sideways, clarified by the Two of Pentacles. And I left it sideways because when it flew out of the deck, it spun on the table, upside down, and landed perfectly sideways. Perfectly sideways. There wasn't a hair. It could have gone in either way different. So I left it sideways. I think you're on the fence. I think you're on the fence at the beginning of the month because your ideal doesn't match the reality with the Two of Pentacles clarifying. The ideal in your mind that you envision doesn't actually match the reality. So do you keep loving until it matches the reality, or do you give up because it's just not ideal and it never will be? This is the dilemma that Gemini and Gemini energy is facing at the beginning of the month. Because the facts are the facts about the reality. It's not perfect. But the facts are the facts about the way your soul feels too, despite the reality. And you're not sure which side of the mind you should listen to, right? The duality within the self. You're not sure which side to listen to. Spirit would tell you to treat all others in accordance with the golden rule. I don't know if you just heard that little ding, but there was a little bell that just went off around me. Divine confirmations, right? The golden rule, do you always treat someone else the way you would want to be treated, or do you stray from that and treat someone else in a way that you wouldn't really want to be treated because it doesn't feel good? To lose something or be judged or criticized or be made to feel less than, unworthy. Does it feel good to be made, to be told you're stupid, or have it implied in a condescending way that you're stupid, that you're a failure or a fuck up? Of course it doesn't. We wouldn't want anybody to treat us like that. People say, oh, it's tough love. No. Love is not tough. It doesn't have to be. It just fucking flows. You can have a screaming match with someone and tell them how inconsiderate and blah, blah, blah they are, and rain down all kinds of wrath on them for not being what, they were quote unquote supposed to be in your vision. What they always were in your vision. What you still hope they are in your vision. The rain of wrath doesn't make them your vision. It definitely hurts them and has them question whether or not you're someone that they could ever re-involve themselves with, is despite the fact that they were right, wrong, or indifferent, you chose to hurt them more than they already were. You chose to hurt them because you were in a place that felt hurt. What if you didn't, though? What if you didn't react with wrath? What if you reacted with compassion and kindness and said, respectfully, I understand you are living your life however is necessary for you to find yourself. And at this time, I don't feel like I could be a part of it. I don't hold anything against you or the process that you're going through that I don't understand. All I know is it's something I don't want my energy a part of right now. I still have the same amount of love for you. I still want you to be happy in any of my visions. So I'm wishing you nothing but the best with your choices. And I hope you find yourself here at the end, because these arms will still love you. This heart will still love you. You haven't damaged me. Damaging yourself. You might have damaged our relationship, for the time being. It needs time to repair itself, time to gain understanding as individuals. But you haven't actually damaged me. You haven't damaged the love my soul has for you. You've only ever damaged yourself and let that ripple to the people you love, that love you. It's about approaching things differently. And you're wondering or contemplating whether or not it's worth it to be the vulnerable compassion person over the wrathful, I need to be in my self-righteous energy. This I deserve entitled energy where you don't have to choose it. And one choice definitely unfolds a certain vision to play out. The person will be hurt. They won't come around and talk to you for a really long time. You're going to have to make amends eventually. You can go through that whole scenario and live it out. Or you could say, fuck that, I don't actually like that scenario. I would love it if this person could potentially call me in a week and say, you know what, you're right. And we can pick up where we left off with each other, only better. You can hope for a better vision and act in alignment with faith in that higher vision. Because the only way to get to that higher vision is by taking higher actions. Being in your higher self. So with the healing begins, the Six of Swords, clarified by the Two of Pentacles. Gem, I think that you're teetering on whether or not you want to heal because believing is seeing, right? And you're in the seeing is believing kind of. You're questioning that. I'll say you're questioning the seeing is believing mentality. And wondering if believing is seeing is actually true, which I think you'll discover because you do choose with the Ace of Coin, clarified by the Five of Cups, to reinvest down a path and strengthen the bond you have with someone where the pleasure or the joy was once there and is lost. The joy between the two of you is lost. The pleasure of being in a co-creative dynamic with this person is lost. And so you're focusing on strengthening the bond you have with a deep soul connection where the joy between you has been lost. And you're awaiting results, possibly with a third party situation involved. It is quite possible that there's a third party involved, that there's other energy being poured out by your person, which is why they're actually not present in the reading, which means they're in your awareness, but they are not actually a part of your everyday life and routine. But you know there's a third energy involved in some which way, shape, or form that probably has no place and just simply needs to be removed permanently. There is no more future there, right? Whatever the third energy is, whether it's between you or your person, there's I feel like a single third energy in the dynamic, right? Either on behalf of your person or on your behalf, but whichever way makes sense for you. But there is a single third energy that is truly out of place. And I think you're waiting for that energy to either hit the high road or get told to hit the road, right? And so at the end of the month with the third eye chakra, getting in touch with the vision, we have the 10 of Swords and the 10 of Cups, both in reverse, clarifying it. Do you let go of the idea of ruin and let go of the idea of perfect success in order to move forward with full unconditional love of someone? Or do you use the excuse that because it's not perfect, the idea of ruin can't go away? It's ruined until this is removed. It's ruined. There's no hope. It's impossible until this is removed. No love can exist the way I envision it. And are you going to treat it that way? Because if you're treating it that way, well, how would you, if you go back to the golden rule, how would you want somebody else to treat you if they felt the way you did about them? What if your person actually does feel about you the way you do about them? Love you unconditionally, would protect you unconditionally, would sacrifice themselves unconditionally to see you happy, even if that meant staying away, even if it meant not involving you in their shit. Maybe the shit you don't know about. They're demons. They're trying to protect you from what's not healed within themselves. And they're keeping the excuse in place. And so it's almost like the divine is asking you to choose a side. Are you going to choose ruin? Or are you going to choose unconditional love and say, you know what? The circumstance will work itself out. It might not be perfect right now. But if I keep loving it perfectly, giving it space when it needs space, giving them time to digest what they need to digest within their own demons, and I'm not going to take it personal when they're not around or when they're not answering like I hope. They're just dealing with their demons and protecting me from them, and I understand that. They'll reach back out to me when it's okay. And I'll be supportive. I'll be understanding. To hold that, right? To hold and commit to your vision of success. To let go of ruin and know that you can actually perfect success. You know, off the screen on the top and bottoms of the deck, we had the 8 of Cups on top and the 9 of Cups on bottom. This is about making an emotional effort, steps, progress, due diligence, an emotional diligence to creating your wish fulfillment. That you would not quit or give up or fall from your light unconditionally in regards to the person you love the most. Without question. They are your divine counterpart, your soul wife, your soul husband. You can't deny that. Not to your soul. You can deny it outright and try and make it believable to everybody else, but you know the truth between you and you. There is no one else that exists besides that person. Their happiness and their success and their stability would bring more joy to your soul than anything else. Which means you have to be the joy and the stability for them when they call you to be. You have to be their sacred soul medicine in the doses that is healthy for them to take it in order to see them get better. To be able to witness it and see the vision, the actual vision, the unconditionally loving vision, the beautiful vision you have of everything you want to feel with this person become a reality. Whether they're a romantic partner or a child, doesn't matter. You're married to this person's well-being in soul. And you're going through the transformation to make that possible. You're going through the mindset transition to make it possible. And so looking back at this month in hindsight, choose love. Choose acceptance. Choose to flow. Choose to surrender that not everything is within your control. Some things have to heal because someone who loves you the way you love them is trying to protect you from seeing the ugly that would have you question your love for them because they don't ever want that love questioned. Truly. So, with that said, Gemini, I hope this has helped you for the month of November, understanding what you've been through and now what is projecting you towards the end of the year, right, with December coming. So until next time, this is Divine Rebel Racy signing out. Remember always to love each other and most importantly, love yourselves. Bye, everybody.